Try again. Hi, good morning. Boy, something must be up. I'm making videos every day now, for some reason. Because lots going on. Just want to make a very quick video, and it will be quick. On video 930. We just want to talk about some of the stuff that's going on in the news with people protesting products. Is how it's going to be. A couple days ago, um, a burnout rock star that kind of drifted off the radar after he really supported Donald Trump as a candidate. Kid Rock decided that he was going to protest Bud Light doing something nice for a person by shooting up a bunch of beer with a machine gun, an AR-15. And over the last couple days, another country, a country western star, Travis Tritt, also decided he was going to ban Anheuser-Busch products uh, in response to Bud Light doing something nice for somebody else. And then a friend of mine, Miss Dawn, shared a video on her page, Facebook, about looked like some guys steamrolling over uh, just cases and cases and cases. I mean, 24-pack cases of Bud Light, and in protest of them doing something nice for someone else. So, I guess I wanted to make a quick video just because it is something that it's on the fringe of our per. It happened. It was an event. Uh, would there be other events like it? I don't know, but I think I just wanted to comment that these outbursts, for lack of a better word, in addition to being childish and, I mean, uh, if you got that much money to buy cases and cases of a beverage and not drink it, um, boy, you probably could give that money to a charity like, you know, uh, I don't know, Houses for is it Houses for Humanity? Your local food bank, your local church, your feed homeless people, help veterans out. Um, a lot of stuff you could do with that money, and of course it's your money. You can do whatever the hell you want. But I just felt like I wanted to say that if there's any if there's any silver lining to this, is that these were trial balloons that didn't fly very far. You know, the expression was, it flew like a lead balloon. Um, if this was something that someone thought, hey, I'm gonna get some fans, I'm gonna rile some people up, and it turns out it fell flat on its face because the general population is not anti-transgender. The bulk of the population is not anti-gay. Yes, uh, you have some people with very deep pockets and very large bullhorns that are screaming their heads off. That will get noticed um, by doing outlandish things like driving a steamroller over cases and cases of Bud Light. Um, but the reaction, like, that was expected, did not happen. And so, because of that, two things. Um, a lot of the people that are sitting on the fence right now, companies like Coca-Cola, the company I work for, Any company, corporation that has an obligation to raise money for their shareholders is now going to see, which direction the wind is blowing, and on a national level, what could have been seen as a minority view of supporting transgender rights, supporting LGBT people, um, you know, they now have confirmation that the majority of the, consumers, people with the money that they want to get their money, that they're not interested in that. It's a litmus test. It's the canary in the coal mine, for lack of a better word. And so, you know, it again, it was a trial, it was a test, it didn't work. And so, like I said, if there's any silver lining to this uh, act of just aggressive, childish behavior, toxic masculinity, for lack of a better word, is that it showed that the general population is not anti-transgender. It's not anti-gay. So that's that. And I can't think what my second point was. Oh, just kind of going forward, I think we're going to see more commercialism being what it is and capitalism being what it is. Well, now that everybody knows that the majority or there is enough critical mass to be pro transgender as opposed to anti transgender, you may very well see um, not just Bud Light or Walmart or whatever. You might see a number of products start to include transgender and LGBT stuff. Not that they, again, they were trial balloons. They were trial balloons. 5 years ago or three or 4 years ago, Jack Daniels, um, their brand of this cinnamon, uh, a spicy cinnamon. I can't think of the name of it. I can see the logo. Fireball. Jack Daniels had like a fireball type drink, a spicy, cinnamony, warming kind of liqueur. And they did a thing with RuPaul's Drag Race. And it was some kind of like drag day camp or something. That kind of failed. Okay, that was another trial balloon. It didn't quite catch on as they want, but they tried it. And so in the last 4 years, public opinion has shifted. The Overton window has moved. Okay. And so other products, you might see, I'm not going to say, it's not going to be a deluge of it, but commercialism, capitalism. Um, Commercials on TV that you see with two dads, two moms, an interracial couple. Um, I know I've seen a number of things that have been inclusive, and I know that for the transgender audience here, um, I know that the Hogwarts game has got a lot of baggage behind it, but the character storyline in it, there's a number of LGBT characters, okay, in that, make of that what you will. Or they just put them in there to appease. Maybe they did. Okay. But, you know, I did a quest yesterday, and um, early in the game, you meet a herbologist, an archaeologist, and she talks about her wife. And then last night I met her wife in another part of the game. And it was just one of those things that as LGBTQ trans stuff loses the tabooness, okay, as we learn that being transgender is not a bad thing. It's not something to be ashamed of. It's not something to be da 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 da. It's part of life. I mean, it's part of our daily life, but I think we're going to see this going forward. You might see, I remember CoverGirl, I think it was, had a spread, a magazine article a couple of years ago where one of the models was a guy, you know, and with makeup on. Okay. So these things are happening at their own pace. So again, as shockingly, oh my gosh, this guy just shot up a bunch of beer. Um, as shockingly bad as that is, the after effect of it was not what they thought it would be, and because that failed, I think we're going to see other, you know what I mean, other other doors open, other opportunities open because it showed that America is not, it's not that way anymore. And it may take a while, but one thing you can say about commercialism and capitalism is they go where the money is. You know. Uh, Now back to the event with the beer and the gun. Um, it really is a bad thing that a person decides to take out their aggression. I thought that the Bud Light cans had the picture of the Dylan. I guess her name's Dylan Mullaney. I don't know her name exactly. Pardon me. And so he was shooting a picture of her up, and so I was like, well, this is obviously a hate act because he's shooting an effigy of, you know, uh, but I still feel there's some, if your thing is to shoot up, you know, pride flags on beer cans, um, yeah, that's two or three things going on there. Um, but like I said, the reaction has been, and I put on my Facebook page, um, another country song, Western. I think I don't know his name. It's not Travis Tritt. He's the guy that was like, I'm no longer gonna sell Anheuser-Busch at my shows. Uh, but a younger country Western. I don't know why I call it country music. I'm so used to country Western. Excuse me, ma'am. What type of music do you sell here? Oh, both kinds, country and Western. Um, but country music. And it's a younger artist who posted something on his true. He tweeted something about, I just don't understand the anti-trans da 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 da. Country music is about being who you want to be and being who you are, and how wonderful life is because you get to be who you are. And like I said again, that is the vibe, right? And so, you know, it's a sign. The way I walk away, and I realize I'm repeating myself, but I take it as a sign that things have changed. Um, they may not have changed as much as we want or as quick as we want. They need to change more, yes, but it is a sign of how far we've come in the last 4 or 5 years. Um, since Trump wasn't, you know, Trump was the turd, in the house, just a focus of hate and bigotry and racism, misogyny, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Um, you know, but anyway, I'm optimistic for the future. Uh, it would take a hell of a lot of stuff to happen for Trump to win again. Trump's gonna run. I mean, he's gonna run, and he probably will get some votes, but um, you know, on the one hand, I want to say we're not going to go back to where we were, but like I said, this here in the middle, it's not you and me, okay? It's not transgender people. It's the people in the middle. They have changed. They're this perception of what's good and bad and right and wrong and what is valuable and unvaluable and this has changed, and you're still going to have people on the right uh who, you know what I mean, we have people who think the earth is flat. We have people who think the moon landing was a hoax. You're always going to have people who believe something that just doesn't make sense to the majority of the population, and you likely will never change their minds. You know, um, they want to bend reality to their own beliefs instead of looking around at reality. And the reality is that we're moving away from a transphobic system. And it doesn't mean that people are not going to try and push it. They're not going to try and there's still got some piss and vinegar in them. And like I said, they have very deep pockets and very loud megaphones. But just as time goes on, I mean, again, and I told this story the other day about my parish, St. Patrick's in Gainesville, Florida. Um, the parishioners were all senior citizens, and there's nothing wrong with being senior citizen. It's just that um, the population every month, day, year was getting less and less and less because old people die off. I mean, natural causes and other things. And so again, it through attrition alone, it just gets narrower and narrower. And the church, again, it makes money off of not donations, collections. Okay, and I kid you not, because and I only know this because I was the scoutmaster of the church of the Boy Scout troop that was part of the church, and we were having a hell of a time because normally the organization that sponsors the Boy Scout troop pays the registration fees. There's a kind of a you can go to your parish or there's whoever sponsors the troop helps to pay the registration costs. If you're not involved in Boy Scouts, uh, Boy Scouts is one of the biggest pyramid schemes you will ever come across. Um, um, Anyway, that's another story for another time. But anyway, so the parish could not pay the fees for the troop and could not help with uniforms and costs that are part of the pyramid scheme. Paying for merit badges and the patches and anyway the program. And so the church was just in dire straits because if you think about sponsoring a Boy Scout troop, well, the resource is children, right? Boys and girls. Who has boys and girls? Young adults. Uh, what's the one thing that's not in the parish? Young adults. It was old people and older people, and it was just one of those things. Uh, Through natural attrition, I know that some of these senators and we have in Congress and House of Representatives, they're old people. I think the median age is 70 as far as the current makeup. Uh, I mean, just over time, it may take 10 or so years, but they retire, they die off, and, hopefully the new will be younger, more open minded, you know, whatnot. Yeah, you're still going to have your holdouts. Look at Mitch McConnell. But, look at AOC is a good example of someone who is, interesting and fresh blood, and the two uh, Democratic representatives in Tennessee. They're the youngest black representatives in Tennessee, and they're the ones that got picked on and kicked off. They're young. You know what I mean? So we just got to let it happen. So anyway, I've talked on for 20 minutes. Congratulations if you walked on the treadmill for 20 minutes. You get the 20-minute award. Have a good day. Stay safe. What is it? Put on sunscreen if that's what you do. Nobody always. It's a song. Trust me on the sunscreen. Anyway, have a good day. Bye. Bye bye. Yes, I'm having trouble clicking the button. It's right.